In this training session, we will look at setting up a migration in DobiMiner. First, we go to the configuration page under File Servers and add the file servers that we'll be using for this migration. Our source will be a NetApps. We'll enter the IP address. After we enter the IP address, we add the username and password. Once it has discovered the source box, we'll select Next. We'll pick the IP addresses for the SNB and NFS access to the source box. We'll put our SNB credentials in. We will select what proxies we'd like to use for the migration. We will click on this test button. This test button tests network connectivity between the file server and the DobiMiner core. We'll select Finish. Next, we'll click Add again to add our target box. It discovers it. Select Next. It discovers the static and dynamic IPs that we'll use for NFS. We will select the administrator credentials for SNB. Again, we'll select what proxies we want to use. We'll select the test button. We'll click Finish. Now for this training session, this would be the only two file servers we'll add. So from here, we'll go back to the scheduling page, and we'll use the default schedule for this. Since we're going to use the default schedule for this, we can leave this page alone for now. We'll go to the migrations page. We'll click Add the settings. We'll choose the source. We'll choose the destination, and we'll leave the default schedule there. Select Next. We were going to load a SID map. We could add it here. That is discussed more in a SID mapping configuration video. For now, we'll leave it empty. Select Next. Now that the pre-checks are complete, DobiMiner has found 11 paths that we can migrate from on the source. We'll click on that tile. We'll go down to the New Migration button to add a migration. Once the next set of pre-checks are complete, we are given the options to select what source paths we want to include in this migration. We'll select Volume 1 on the left of the paths. As you can see, the different folders under Volume 1 have both NTFS and Unix style security. You'll select all of these. Select Next. Now we're given the option to select where we want the paths on the destination. We'll select ifs data. We'll create a directory. We'll call it Volume 1. Select Next. The next screen shows us what the source and destination paths are, what the security mappings are, and what the migration type will be. We'll select Next. That brings us to our migration options screen. There are many options for this migration we could choose. We will leave the defaults in place for this demonstration. There is a migrations option video that is viewable outside this one. We will select Next. It'll do a pre-check of all the paths to make sure there's no issues. We'll scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see there's no issues. We can click Finish. And as soon as we click Finish, DobiMiner starts scanning the source system. Once the first scan is complete, it starts the first copy. We can go back to the scheduling page to see the first scan found 666 megabytes of data, and then the first copy has already completed 2.8 megabytes and counting. This concludes our training video on setting up a migration.